Factorising monic trinomials. Hopefully most of you know what factorising means, finding the common factor. Monic. Does anyone know what monic means? One. A monic trinomial. So it's a quadratic with three numbers. So it could be something like this. X squared plus 3x plus 2. So there's three numbers. That's why it's a trinomial. And it's a monic trinomial because there's an invisible 1 out the front. Okay? So that's what we're doing today. We're going to factorize something that looks like this. A monic trinomial. The general form, which is a form that describes all trinomials, looks like this. Ax squared plus bx plus c. The a is the coefficient for x squared, the b is the coefficient for x, and the c, when there's no x, what's that called? What's the special? Very good. The math word for that is a constant. Okay? So you've got two coefficients and a constant. For this example, what's the a value for this one here? So the a is 1. What's the b? And what's the c? Okay, is there any questions so far? So there's quite a few different ways to factorize a monic trinomial to get the same answer. I'm going to teach you the ACB method. So you multiply the a and the c, and you write down the b. What's the a times the c? 1 times 2 is, and b is. So that's the first step. The second step is the tricky step. You need to think of, this is the bit you need to put all your attention towards. You need to think of two numbers that multiply to get this number and add to get this number. Two numbers that multiply to get the AC and add to get the B. That multiply to get to 2. There is literally only two numbers. 2 and 1. And when you add those two numbers together, 2 and 1, what do they make? Okay? So the simple way to solve this is you now write these two numbers like this. And that's your answer. So I've taken the number 2 and 1 is factors of 2, and they add to get to 3. So let's look at this next one. What is the A number? What is the B number? 6. And what is the C number? Okay, so I need two numbers that multiply to get 8, that also add to get 6. So you have to think of all the factors of 8, and two of those factors need to add to get to 6, the middle number. So what are all the factors of 8? 1 and 8, 2 and 4. So which of those add to get to 6? So we have our answer. Now, if you're interested to know how I got to that line, I'm going to explain how I got to that line without just guessing. So if we split the middle term, and this is really helpful for later on. So if you may remember we had a quadnomial in the past, and I asked you to factorize the first two. Do you remember? I said to factorize these two first, and then I said to factorize these two. Do you remember doing that maybe yesterday or the day before? So it's just taking that extra step to get to those double brackets. So that first two, what's the common factor? What's the common factor? So you can see how they both have x plus 2. So you can factorize that. And you end up with the same answer. Okay? So you see how you can use the ACB method to determine the two factors and then put it in the brackets. Or you can do it the long way and split it up and then factorize. The long way, and everyone listen to this, everyone in the room. The long way is useful when it's a non-monic trinomial. That means there is not a 1 in front of the x squared.